everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Helen and today I'm going to be showing you my Roll of Reads TBR. Roll of Reads is a readathon that was created by Mel from a book fiend named Mel. And I've taken part in that most years. I definitely took part in it last year, and so yeah, I enjoyed doing my rolls again. In the video I've said that we were doing 8 rolls, we actually did 9. I don't know how it happened, but hey ho. So I've got 9 choices to show you, and without further ado I will show you the rolls, then I will show you how we picked our friend and family pick, and then I will come to you with all of the books that I chose. Right, so it's a family affair again. We've got Andy on the camera and we've got Sophie doing the rolls.
Hi!
And yeah, I'll just replace the prompts. So we're going to do 8 rolls all together. So first roll.
Whee.
19.
19.
Friend or family pick?
Yeah, we're having Treacle do that one again. Pet pick again.
Yeah, pet pick isn't on it this time. So
yeah, but Treacle's part of our family.
Okay.
So
right,
basically.
so that was 19. Right, next roll number 2. 10. Oh, for a project. I don't really know what that one is, but I'll find it out. I'm pretty sure it's if there's another project that I'm doing, I'll do that. I think that's all it is. Right, yeah, roll again, Soph.
You're not going to replace it?
No, because it's already there. Go.
7. It is
this
that
one. Set on an island. Oh, there you go. Next.
9.
9.
Or is that 6?
I think it's 9, is it? Would you say that's 9?
There's a dot around the...
I think that's 9, do you?
Yes.
Should we go with 9?
Yes.
Australian author. What can you see? Okay. What's that, number 9? Right, go on, Soph.
1.
Oh, right, so I have to read a book out of my comfort zone, but then I also have to pick a punishment.
I will read it. You cannot see. So she got unwhole a book.
I have to get rid of a book as well. Okay. Next. That 4?
4.
Go on then. That one?
That
yeah.
one. TBR vet.
Okay.
Is that to do with Treacle because it has a vet in it?
No, it's a veteran, so it's been there a long time.
Yeah, I don't understand what a veteran is.
It's just a book that's been there for a long time. Right, go on.
My dice. Well, not mine, but still.
15. Host fave. That's fine. Yeah, I know which one I'm going to pick for that as well, so I'll talk about that later. 15. Come on. 14. Have we had 14 already? No.
Right, where is...
Oh.
This one. Mention in your...
Favourite show. Sorry, that's Mum's writing. Okay. Last one.
Oh, already. 12. Where I want to do the last one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Set somewhere you've been.
Okay.
You could do Spain. We've been to España.
Cool.
Or Disney. Or in Paris.
So for friend and family pick, Sophie decided that she'd like it to be Treacle picks because last time Pet Pick was on it and she enjoyed that. So she's put the treats on the books and we're going to let Treacle in now and see which one she picks. Do you want to let her in, Soph?
I picked the books and it's Treacle's turn to shine. Let's go get her. Treacle, how's the treat?
Come on, Treacle.
On the books. Treats.
There you go. Oh, yeah, so she's doing, what's that one? Amazing Grace Adams. I would get it, but she's in the middle.
And now she's...
eating all
And now she's eating all of them. This is our cat. She is eating.
She's getting the one off the last one.
Treacle.
Come on, Treacle.
The last 2. Treacle, got this one too. This one there.
fit on one of them. Nice.
Good
There
girl.
you go.
That's all the treats now, Treacle. You ate them all.
So as you can see from the first clip, my first prompt was friend or family pick, and Sophie really wanted Treacle, our cat, to pick the option. Last year she enjoyed when pet pick was one of the options, and it wasn't this year, so she said Treacle's part of our family, we'll let her do it. And so Treacle chose Amazing Grace Adams by Fran Littlewood. This is one that I've had on my TBR for a couple of years, so I'm really glad to be able to choose this one. It says, once Grace Adams was poised for great things, now she barely attracts a second glance as she strides down the street carrying her daughter's 16th birthday cake. But behind the scenes, Grace's life is in freefall. Her husband is divorcing her daughter has banned her from her birthday party, and Grace has just abandoned her car in bumper-to-bumper traffic. Because Grace Adams has finally had enough, she's sick of being overlooked and underappreciated, and she's particularly tired of being polite. She's about to set off on a journey to rediscover who she is and confront the secret that has torn her family apart. What is that secret? You're about to find out. So really excited for that one. For roll number 2, we got read a book for a project, and so this one I have chose One in a Million by Beverly Kendall. The reason this is for a project is because I'm on the blog tour for this one, and it has to be read by the end of March. So this may be the last one on the pile that I actually do read, because I like it to be fresh in my mind, ready for when I review it. So thank you to Simon & Schuster for sending me this one. And this one says, world famous Whitney Sahara Richardson is at the top of her game. With 4 Grammys, an Oscar nod, and a $500 million clothing line, her career is skyrocketing. Even her headline-grabbing dating life is looking up, and if everything goes as planned, marriage and children are just a few years away. However, a mix-up at the fertility clinic where her eggs are stored puts the cart before the horse, and Sahara suddenly has a daughter whose biological father is reluctant to share her. A fun, spicy rom-com with the poignancy of Abby Jimenez and a modern twist on Surprise Baby for fans of Jasmine Guillory. So yeah, that sounds like an interesting one, and I'm looking forward to getting to that one. So for roll number 3, we got read a book that's set on an island, and for this one I chose Skios by Michael Frayn. This is a book that I got in a charity shop a little while ago. I chose it for Eurovision-a-thon this time to represent Greece, but then I looked on my shelf of books for Eurovision-a-thon and I've got Greece ones already, and this one specifically says it's set on an island. So it says, arriving on the Greek island of Skios to spend a few stolen summer days with someone else's girlfriend, Oliver Fox discovers that she's missed her flight and that he has 4 long hours to kill by himself. In the arrivals hall, he sees the name Dr. Norman Wilfred being held up. It's a temptingly possible substitute, so Oliver steps into the life of Dr. Wilfred. On the same flight is the real Dr. Wilfred, who has come to give a lecture to a distinguished international audience. By the time the wrong Dr. Wilfred is on his way to give the right Dr. Wilfred's lecture, and the right Dr. Wilfred is installed in the wrong Dr. Wilfred's love nest, Oliver's original date has found a flight after all and is stepping off a plane herself. So it does sound like it could be quite comical, even though that was a bit of a tongue twist. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. But yeah, another one that I've got to get off the list. Then for roll number 4, we got Australian author. And so for this one, I have picked Devotion by Hannah Kent. Again, this is another one that I chose for Eurovision-a-thon. I think you can use it for Australia. Well, obviously you can because I'm using it for Australian author. But it mentions Prussia. And so I think there's a few, like, of the Balkan countries that you can use this one for. But I won't really know until I've read it. So that is why I always thought that I would use it for Australia for Eurovision-a-thon. But again, I'm not stuck for Australian authors, so I thought I do want to read this, and it's got gorgeous sprayed edges. This is one that I got for £5 from Waterstones because the dust jacket is a bit ripped, and I don't mind that. So yeah, for this one, let me see, it'll be inside. It says 1836 Prussia. Han is nearly 15, and the domestic world of womanhood is quickly closing in on her. A child of nature, she yearns instead for the rush of the river, the wind dancing around her. Han finds little comfort in the local girls, and friendship doesn't come easily until she meets Thea, and she finds in her a kindred spirit and finally acceptance. Han's family are old Lutherans, and in her small village, hushed worship is done secretly. This is a community under threat, but when they are granted safe passage to Australia, the community rejoices. At last a place they can pray without fear, a permanent home freedom. It's a promise of freedom that will have devastating consequences for Han and Thea, but on that long and brutal journey their bond proves too strong for even nature to break. So I remember reading Burial Rites for Eurovision-a-thon one year and really loving it, so I'm really excited for this one. So then for the next roll we got read a book out of your comfort zone. Wait a minute while I let treacle in. Come on then. Come on. Read a book out of your comfort zone, and for that one I have got All Better Now by Neil Shusterman. The reason this is out of my comfort zone is I do love his writing, but I find that they really freak me out. It's the same with John Mars. Any book that's quite thrillerish, it takes a lot out of me when I read it, but I really enjoy them. So it's kind of, it does make me feel uncomfortable, but it's worth the discomfort, if that makes sense. So although I'm really excited to read this one because I love the Scythe series and I love the sound of the back, it just freaks me out a little bit. So yeah, definitely out of my comfort zone. This is one that I've treated myself to because the pre-order was coming out just before my birthday, so I couldn't resist. It says, a virus is spreading. Those who catch it become profoundly happy, but happiness can be dangerous. Anyone who catches and survives the Crown Royal virus experiences a strange long-term effect, utter contentment. The stress, greed and misery that used to weigh them down are gone. But a world without negative emotions is bad for business. The search for a cure begins whilst others plan to spread the virus as fast as possible. Meanwhile, the lives of Muriel, Ron and Morgan are upended as they're becoming embroiled in a power play that could change humanity forever. It sounds really good, but it also sounds very close to home, obviously with coronavirus and everything that came along with that. So yeah, out of my comfort zone, but still I am looking forward to it as well. The next one was to read a book that had been on my TBR for a long time, so TBR Vet. And for this one I've decided to go for A Whole New World, which is one of the Disney kind of retellings. So it says, what if Aladdin had never found the lamp? When the Sultan's most trusted advisor rises to power with the help of a mysterious lamp, street rat Aladdin and Princess Jasmine's world collide. Will Aladdin and Jasmine be able to stop evil Jafar from tearing the kingdom apart? Find out in this twisted tale, which includes exclusive comment. Yeah, I still feel like Jafar tried to do that, so I don't know what parts of it's going to be different, but this has been on my pile for a long time. I found with these I was excited to get to them, and then they just stay on my list for ages, so I really do need to stop buying these Disney ones because they just languish on my shelves for ages. So the next one I got was Host Fave, and for this one, of course, I had to go with Ellie from Ilgare Books, because she's one of my best booktube friends. I went for this one, which is The Hat Makers by Tamsin Merchant, because the next one, I think it's called The Map Readers or The Map Makers. I know we've both got that on our shelves, and so my intention has been to read this one so that then we can read that one together, and I keep intending to and never getting there. So as soon as I saw this was on a Host Fave list, I thought, right, this is my opportunity. So it says, Cordelia comes from a family of magical hat makers. In her world, making craft items from enchanted ingredients is a rare and special skill. Cordelia can't wait to make her first hat, but then her father disappears and someone seems to be using maker enchantments to start a war. Cordelia must use courage, friendship, and just a touch of magic to save the makers forever. And I was right. Map Makers is the next one. So fingers crossed. If Ellie still hasn't read Map Makers, which I've just watched her TBR video for this and it's not on there, so fingers crossed she will still have it to read, and in the coming months, maybe after Eurovision-a-thon in April and May time, we can, maybe June, we can look at reading Map Makers together. Then we got read a book mentioned in a fave show. My favourite shows are things like Motherland, and I do like Friends, although I've found it hard to watch that after, sadly, Matthew Perry passed away. But I don't remember in Motherland there being any books mentioned, and in, what's it called, Friends, I remember 2 books being mentioned, Little Women, which I've already read, and what's the one about that Stephen King dog and the dog? Stephen King wrote about the dog. Oh god, I can't remember the name of it, but there's a Stephen King one about a demented dog. And I just don't fancy that at all. So when Mel had mentioned in the past, she's had Gilmore Girls on there. Do you like it? I wouldn't say it's my favourite show, but I had a look through, and one of the books that Rory Gilmore has on her list is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, and this is my last Austen that I need to read. I've noticed that Ellie from Earl Grey Books has got her last Austen to read as well. It's a shame it's not the same one. She's reading Emma this month, but yeah, I've been promising myself that I'll read Sense and Sensibility to finish off the Jane Austen books for a long time, and so that's what I'm going to do. And then I hope then to watch one of the adaptations, preferably the Emma Thompson and Hugh Grant one. I don't know if there's any others, but that's the one that I fancy. I think most people probably know what this is about, but if you don't, it says Eleanor Dashwood is thoroughly sensible and always alert to the opinions of others. Her younger sister Marianne is passionate, impetuous, and scornful of convention. Neither seems likely to marry the man she loves. In a world ruled by money and self-interest, the Dashwood sisters have neither fortune nor connections. With her concern for others and her respect for social proprieties, Eleanor appears ill-equipped to compete with self-centred fortune hunters like Lucy Steele. Marianne believes so firmly in the truth of her own feelings that she's dangerously susceptible to the allure of a man who professes to share her romantic views. Though Sense and Sensibility was Jane Austen's first published novel, it's a formal daring that lifts it far beyond any of the so-called courtship novels of the preceding decades. So, we will see. And there you go. So for the last one, I've got read a book that's set somewhere you've been. And for this one, I've chose Major, Minor and Memoir by Albert Arica. This has been on my pile for a few years now for Eurovision-a-thon for France, but I never struggle to find French books, and I have got quite a few on my list. So it's doubtful that it's going to be picked this year, and I don't really want to put it on another Eurovision-a-thon TBR. So this is the chance to do it. It's not full text sometimes. It's like, I can't describe, I don't know if bits of it are in verse or poems or just the way it's set out. It's not full text, so it should be quite easy to get through. But it says, in this vivid, haunting and luminously original coming-of-age memoir set in 1980s Paris, Albert Arica chronicles her experience of growing up in an artistic yet dysfunctional family. Her father was the artist Avigdor Arica, her mother the poet Anne Attic, her godfather Samuel Beckett. Their apartment where Alba and her sister grew up was a hub of literary and artistic achievement which still reverberates today. Alba's tale is played out against the family memories of war and exile and the ever-present echoes of the Holocaust. So I'm not saying it's going to be an easy read, but it gets this one off my list and I am happy about that. So there are 3, 6, 7, yeah, they're the 9 books, oh my goodness, that I will be reading in March. And this is the only readathon I'm doing. I'm not doing my own TBR game or anything like that, so they will all I'll be trying to read. I did get a punishment, and that was to unhaul a book. Now, I don't know if it counts, but every time I read a book, I put it in a box and then I zip it at the end of a period. So when I've got like a 5's worth, I just send them off. Any that can't be zippeted, I then take to the charity shop. So I kind of do unhauling all the time, but I will still do this at some point, and I will probably do like a little short and show you which book I'm getting rid of, but I kind of do it anyway, so I feel like I'm kind of doing it. And like the last box that I sent off was some that I hadn't read that had been there for a while. So yeah, I will let you know in a short which book specifically I have unhauled for this one. So it will be done, and it gets done all the time. So there you go. So let me know if you've read any of these, if you're taking part in Roll of Reads. And yeah, I might bump some up the list if you think there's certain ones that I should read before others. And I will see you next time. Bye.